Portugal was once known as a crypto tax haven, but is that still true in 2025? Big changes have hit the crypto scene here, and whether you're a casual investor or a serious crypto holder, you'll want to hear the next 8 minutes. In this video, we're diving into how Portugal is taxing crypto in 2025, what's changed, and most importantly, how it could impact you. I sat down with Fresh Portugal, one of the country's top tax and legal firms, to break it all down.
All right, my first question about crypto in Portugal, because I'm going to be honest, I don't know very much, is cryptocurrency taxed in Portugal?
Yes, it is. Since 2023,
Okay.
It is taxed and reportable here in Portugal.
Okay, how has that changed over the past few years? So it wasn't taxed before, but now it is?
So, changed a lot
Okay.
since 2023. Before that, we didn't have any kind of straightforward legislation about that. So only professional activities regarding crypto was entitled to be taxed. Since 2023, we have a straightforward tax legislation telling us that we do need to tax and you do need to report. That's a very important thing to know.
Okay, so before 2023, people were looking at Portugal as like a crypto tax haven.
Well, yes, it was the lack of legislation said to people this kind of environment.
Got it.
But Portugal is a good tax haven taxation because with the legislation it's better. With guidance, people move to Portugal knowing what they are entitled to be taxed or not, because we had amazing vesting period exemption, for example, here in Portugal.
Okay, so there's no longer like this ambiguity about it.
Perfect.
And how much do people pay in taxes for crypto gains?
Well, you can face zero taxation exempt, capital gains taxation on crypto here in Portugal, just if you hold your assets for more than 365 days. So mainly speaking, 1 year.
Okay.
You can start being a Portuguese tax resident next month, but you can keep your previous 365 days to your past holding assets. So you can arrive in Portugal day one, but if you already had your year holding this crypto, if you sell, it's going to be tax exempt in Portugal.
Okay, how much will it be taxed if it's less than a year?
28%, generally speaking, yeah.
Okay.
You need to understand the tax havens country, like countries where Portugal considered to be favorable tax jurisdictions.
Okay.
There's a long list that Portugal considers, and this taxation could be more than 28, like 35%.
Okay. And is 28% like what the capital gains tax is for everything in Portugal, or is it specific to crypto?
No, for example, capital gains on stocks, if it's short term, can face the regular Portuguese taxation, so up to 48%.
So it would be viewed like personal income?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Orders not only to be short term, it's already up to 48. You have to match other conditions. But the crypto is a straight 28% or exemption, or 35% if you're talking about this gain coming from blacklisted jurisdictions.
Okay, so that sounds pretty straightforward. What about things like wealth tax? Does Portugal have a wealth tax?
No, we don't.
Okay. Are there any rumors of that legislation coming into effect?
Well, we hear everything like every time, but personally I don't think so. Portugal like to attract people, like to attract young people dealing with crypto, so we had a very straightforward crypto legislation, and I don't see this scenario being like worse for wealthy or other kind of taxation.
What about people that are interested in moving to Portugal for some amount of time, but they're worried about an exit tax? Does Portugal have an exit tax?
Well, regarding crypto,
Yeah.
we do have exit tax, meaning disattach your tax residency from Portugal. The Portuguese tax authority will consider this as a sale, as you are selling your crypto. But again, don't mean that you're going to be taxed, because if you sell your crypto and you're already holding these assets for more than 365 days, it's going to be exempt.
Okay.
But you just have the compliance to report.
Okay.
So it's important for you to understand that, yeah.
In a case like that, would you recommend that someone kind of times their trades before exiting?
Yes, sure. If you're going to leave Portugal as a tax resident and you have these assets for less than 1 year, you're going to pay this 28% to Portugal.
Does Fresh help people kind of track dates and figure out, like, do a pro forma? This is how much we think you're going to owe based on when you bought it, how much gains, when you're going to exit the country. Is that something that you guys help with?
Sure. We follow our clients like daily basis. We have a lot of service like the tax return service that we follow the tax return every year for our clients. So we keep their attention to such exit tax, such periods, the holding, how to report, because even if there's no taxation to be paid, it's exempted during the vesting period, you still need to report. It's important for them to understand, and we advise our clients on that.
What about taxes on an annual basis, unrealized gains? I think this is a topic that's certainly popping up in the US. People are becoming a little more fearful of. So what does Portugal do in terms of unrealized gains?
Well, the good thing about Portugal is you don't need to report your assets. You only need to report if you have income or gains. Portugal is a self-reporting country. So if you sell your crypto, for example, you need to report.
Okay.
If it's there, you're just holding them, you don't need to report. And nowadays we have a different one that if you hold assets, for example, if you have equity in some blacklisted jurisdiction, nowadays you must report. So just pay attention where your wallet, for example, where is the exchange? Maybe it's in one of these jurisdictions.
Okay.
Maybe you need to report that you own such assets to the Portuguese tax authority.
Got it. And I have many blind spots when it comes to cryptocurrency. So what are some things that I'm not asking you that I need to be aware of?
Well, what we are talking about here is about capital gains, but you can get crypto with different income nature. For example, if you provide work and receive the payment with crypto, that is taxable.
Okay.
This is your active work. So it's like fiat. So you need to report and pay your self-employment income, your employment income regarding that crypto. And if you decide not to swap, to keep the crypto, then triggers the 365 days for capital gains. So you must analyze
when you receive it.
When you receive
the
it,
money as payment.
Yeah, it's payment.
Got
so
it.
it's you receive
Wow.
it, I don't know, a token or Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's market value of that day, you pay your taxation, and then it's not mandatory for you to change for fiat.
Sure.
So triggers the first day for the future capital gains. But and the same, if you have a crypto activity, Portugal since 2023 add the issuance of crypto or mining operation is commercial activities. So for example, if you have a validation activity, it's amazing here in Portugal, you can open a freelancer activity, only 15% of your gross amount is going to be taxable. So
Okay.
the Portuguese tax authority provide you 85%, like tax-free, for example.
Okay.
So it's very interesting, and the taxable events is only when you swap to fiat. So if you keep as crypto, you don't need to pay your taxation. So only when you change for fiat. So, and again, we have like airdrops, staking. So you must understand the nature of the operation, a SAFT contract. And then you have the capital gains exemption.
Sure.
So always pay attention the nature why you are getting such crypto, if you need to pay taxes or triggers the capital gains vesting period.
I'm so glad that you brought that up because that was definitely a blind spot of mine. I never thought about someone receiving it as payment, but you're exactly right. If you're interested in learning more about cryptocurrency and how it plays with your taxes and want to contact Enrique or the people at Fresh, we have a link in the description section below for you to check out. Now let's get moving. Bye.